1, 2, 3. Tag me in podcast.
So, guys,
What
do you want?
I have a list.
Well, not me actually. Let's not make it professional.
Oh,
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do we want?
Loyalty, I think, is for both.
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
That's
Hey.
loyalty, trust.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw down loyalty, trust.
This is obviously in the context of a relationship, right? What do we men want?
No, I want a friendship.
Oh, friend,
that is
talking
also
friends.
a relationship.
Whoa, that's how you get sticky
You're asking
situations
for too
then.
much. You're asking for too
No, but I want my
much.
partner to be my friend. Someone that I can fuck with. Should we go and
This
do
is how
this?
guys trap you because it's like,
Do you
oh, I
want-
want you to
yeah.
be my friend.
Not
And it's
even
like,
that,
but you're
no.
my friend,
No,
though.
no.
And it's like,
I don't go into the situation like that. So let me be clear. If I'm interested in you from a relationship standpoint, then I'm going into it as a relationship. But I also want to build a friendship out of that. If I see you as a friend, straight up, you're a friend. So I make that clear kind of like distinction between the two.
Okay, so if you're going,
I'm not going to mislead you. I'm not going to be like, let's be friends, and then actually, I feel this girl, you know. Let's switch it from friend to actually wifey, and then you're like, nah.
yeah.
But being a friend relationship, okay, if you're going to have your boys, I can come to them because we're friends.
If you want to come,
Yeah,
then come
all the
roll.
time.
Yeah. If you want to roll, then roll. My man, them ain't going to be happy about that.
No, but man,
Can't come be.
no.
But you need to have that separation as well.
Exactly.
So that won't
That's why
happen.
you can't always be a friend of your partner. It's like your parents can't always be your friend. You have to be
I
a parent.
agree.
That's it, that
Yeah,
line,
you
that
need to
line.
have that boundary. Yeah.
So I don't
But
know
you need
about
to have that separation in life anyway. Your girl or your guy shouldn't be rolling with you and your girls.
Yeah, that's no
yeah.
shit.
Quality time,
100%.
separate quality
Yeah,
time.
that's my time.
100%, no.
These are my friends. Yeah, we're friends, but
These are my boys. You go with your girls. Let me go with my
yeah,
boys.
that's my time.
Yeah, it's true.
Even me, like when it comes to like introducing my friends, you have to be careful, you know, because some friends are not really friends. They'll be just trying to get to know your partner, and how you be like, when you break up,
It's
they start
true.
becoming friends. I'm like, if I broke up with my partner, you can't. Why are you still friends with them? No,
That's like an
That's why
unwritten
you
rule,
can't.
isn't it?
Yeah.
When we break up, you break up with them as well. Like,
it's
you
why
can't
you
be-
can't. I don't want my friends to be too close to my partner because they'll start be like, oh, but he's a nice person when he cheated on me. No, thank you.
You need to understand from his perspective. Nah, go away.
Boundaries.
So, I get boundaries is very, very key in this kind of lawsuit.
I agree. So you want a friend, but a friend that's a soul friend, so not a friend that you can be mingling with your
No,
other friends.
Yeah.
What else?
Obviously, you want them to get along with people, though.
Yeah.
No, you need to be antisocial.
What?
Sorry.
What?
So
Yeah,
what? They come
so-
round to your house and you're there with your partner.
Yeah,
No, but-
look at the floor.
And your friends don't like your man.
Look at the floor.
What do you need to be looking at my
Nah,
friends for?
there's
nothing on the floor.
You're dead.
Do you know what?
Yeah, look.
You want a
No,
pet?
I do not.
She wants a pet. Sit all over.
Sleep?
Because I know Mandem's friends influence them a lot. So I'm saying like if you're
I
antisocial, they'll start
disagree.
be like,
No.
what?
I think
You
it's the
guys-
other way. I think
No.
women's friends, yes.
We
Yes.
all are influenced.
don't
No,
lie.
no.
No, on a
No,
deeper
man,
level.
Your friends influence.
Yeah,
Don't-
you do.
When
You
you
like
like
it.
a girl, don't you be like, oh, what do you think of this girl to your friends? Yes or no?
Not really.
Like,
This is my girl. This is my girl. If my boys don't like her, that's their problem. Are they dating her?
but it's gonna have some sort of
See,
like some voice in your head. I'm not.
Not that deep though.
Let me tell you what happened to me. Yeah, me and my ex, we had a tumultuous relationship. I'm not gonna lie, but one night he called me. We were on good terms. Yeah, he went out with his boys. He called me, and he was like, "I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, bad drunk. My boys don't like you." I
Swear.
said, "Why?"
He was like,
Yeah,
cool, safe.
but he was really, really drunk. He was like, "I'm not gonna lie. My boys don't like you. Like, I don't know, and it's making me think." Like, I said, "Wow." After all this time,
Hey.
I know, and this is the thing. A lot of the time, they do talk to their boys about it, but obviously because he was that way, he was emotional. He just felt he wanted to get it off his chest. But I'm like, so these boys that are coming in and they're eating the food that I'm cooking in the house. Imagine the disrespect. Yeah, no.
Hey, her food's good, but I don't like her.
Yeah, I don't like her. Like,
Boys don't
and
really-
You're encouraging him to be doing higgy hagger in the streets. No way.
But is that what ended the relationship though? Was that him? Was that sole? Was that the sole
No,
reason?
it wasn't the sole reason, but it had a lot to do because his friend. I told him this boy. Yeah, I told you I don't like your friend. Your friend's a bad influence. He didn't want to listen to me. Your friend does this. Yeah, you be out with your friend. I said no, but there's a difference. I have friends that are a bit ratchet. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, and I have my moments, but it's like I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? You know, you can dip your toe into the ratchet pond sometimes. But you have to bring it back. His friends living up in the ratchet pool. They're there. Like, listen, his friend literally waved a gun at me and everything. Yeah,
Swear.
yes, and I told you
gun.
about this.
No,
I
you
think
didn't talk about the gun.
Did I not?
Bang, bang.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got this water gun here.
No, yeah, honestly,
Bang,
imagine, like, we were supposed to go to a party. The party was his friend's house.
Yeah.
It was only him and the girlfriend. I was like, this is not a party. Why have you put me here?
That was something.
Literally, because he bathroom. And I was like, no, it's my time, Chelsea time. Like, we're not spending. No, he was like, oh, we're gonna go party. It was his house. I was there. Imagine behind the door. Yeah, he literally lifted up a gun like this to me. Yeah, behind the door because my boyfriend was behind the door. He couldn't see. Babe,
so what was he saying?
It was a real gun.
What was he saying?
A real gun.
What was his comment?
Nothing. He just did it to intimidate me because he didn't like me. I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's a bit mad.
That's what I'm
what
saying.
did your boyfriend do?
He didn't do anything.
See, that's right.
But what's your man gonna do? What's your man gonna do?
Like what?
Why do your friend think he can bring a gun out of me? That's no. You're patterning from before.
That's a bit mad.
That's a disrespect, right?
That's very disrespectful.
Like that's very Bruno Mars
Well, yeah.
for me. That's why.
Hey bro, allow it, man, allow it. That's my girl.
Their boys try and play it off like, oh, I've got your best interest. Oh, it's just a joke, whatever. So you don't know, but like they don't know what their friends' intentions are. But it's like no, because he was coming in and he was showing like loads of different weapons here. Because this guy's hood, like I said, he was a hood guy. So he was showing us loads of different weapons, and I was just thinking, why is he showing us this? Because we were like in the kitchen chilling. Anyway, he goes out and then he shows my boyfriend all the other weapons, but then he comes in behind the door and like points the gun like as a joke and goes away. But it's like, why didn't you do that to my boyfriend? Yeah, why is it only me that you've done it to? Because like you don't like me, you're trying to intimidate me, basically trying to tell me to fuck off. So I did. Deuces.
Yeah, no, that's bang out of order.
That's what I'm saying. So guys they definitely do influence their friends 100%.
Okay, so I guess.
Look at the floor.
We'll keep looking at the floor a little bit. So question,
what you look for is a man to look at the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the context of a relationship,
Yeah.
do you feel that when we kind of discuss kind of what women want, what men want, do you feel, because there's a statement that apparently sometimes women can be demanding.
What do you mean?
Is that something that resonates or?
I don't think the
you know what people want.
With me, I don't know that word. No.
So you're saying that when in terms of what women want, you don't have a lot of demands. You're like, I want a few things, just deliver that.
Lisa, let's be
Let's
honest.
not.
Yeah.
We're
getting somewhere.
I may talk the most, but I'm a very simple person. Communication for me is key. Yeah. If I message you and I see you on Snap and you haven't called me back, and then no, I don't. I think that's disrespectful. Like, why am I messaging you, calling you, making me look like I'm going crazy, but you're there enjoying your best life?
Okay, but do you
communication
expect?
is key. I think communication ruins a lot of relationships. If people just
yeah.
talk to each other or communicate better, a lot of these problems they wouldn't happen.
What I find sometimes unreasonable is that you might message now, and I've put on Snapchat 10 minutes ago, and you want a response right now. Are you one of those ones? Be honest.
No.
Because
I know people that are like that, but I'm not like that. I'm actually, do you know, I give a lot of chances, you know, like I've had people like,
yeah,
is it a chance
I
thing?
give, no, like that. Like for example, like if I say I message you and you're not coming back, I think there's something's wrong. You know, I'm more worried about you, not because I want to go crazy. I'm like, oh, something happened, blah blah.
Yeah.
So I give you a couple of days to call me and stuff, and yeah, but
couple days.
Okay, couple days.
At the beginning of the relationship, I'm not gonna be bothering you. I don't bother people a lot.
Yeah.
If I message, for example,
if you're interested,
if you take
you're
my
interested,
number
innit?
and I message you and I'm getting like a dead response from you, I'll leave you. I wouldn't even bother you.
Yeah.
And if you start getting serious, like, and if I'm calling you and stuff, like, you know, I'm not answering you, I will leave you. Like, it's cool. But if you see me, don't be acting like, oh, we're cool like that.
Yeah.
I want an explanation from you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
As
Yeah,
to
because
what
I think it's
happened.
just rude. Like, I'm not like something could have happened to you, and then I wouldn't know. So it's a bit like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's common courtesy, though, isn't it?
yeah, it's very common courtesy.
I think
a lot of
I'm
people forget about
demanding
that.
though. I think so.
In what
Is it
context?
demanding though? Do you reckon that term demanding, or is it just
But
that
you
you
know-
just been
You know what
meeting
you
people
want.
who can't fulfill that need for you?
Exactly, and this is the mistake I used to make when I was younger, and I've made it like quite a few times. I'm not gonna lie. It's like there's something that I know that I seek in a man, yeah, and he doesn't have it. Like he'll have something like a bit of potential, and then I will move and try and create a relationship based off of that potential, and then I'll end up nagging them because I feel like that they can reach a certain level of potential. But my mum even said to me, she said, Charles, the way you view stuff is not how people want to live their lives. Just because you think it's best for them, it doesn't mean that that's what they want for themselves.
correct,
Do you know what I mean? So that was what was making me demanding, because I was like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And like, I want you to communicate. I want you to do this. Some people, they don't want it. They want to do nothing with their lives. And if that's what you want to do, then deuces. Go along your way. So I think it's about knowing the difference, and this is why guys get annoyed or complain about a lot of women that are demanding, because it's like the woman in yourself, you know that this guy is not for you, but you stay there and you try and mold him into something. He's not Play-Doh. I'm not molding you.
I
It's
think
that
that's a mistake
simple.
women make, because
Yeah.
like, this man's already been raised. You're trying to change someone that has already habits and personalities that
Yeah.
are part of him.
Yeah.
That's why I think when we need to go into a relationship, just like not trying to change him, man, to try to see him for who he is.
Who he is.
Because
If
that's
you
how
like
you miss the
it,
red flag. That's how you
Yeah.
miss, for example, you start demanding stuff. Like, it's good to like if you see his potential, you're trying to encourage him. But men don't like, it's encouragement and there's nagging or there's trying to change someone. I think that's like what a key mistake that a lot of people make is trying to go into a relationship to change someone. You shouldn't do that.
But I think even if you're trying to change someone, it's not loving. You're not loving that person for who they are because you're wanting something from them. You want them to level up, change, or whatever. But then also, there's not the level of patience as well because you said about habits and, you know, this is a person's personality. That's been built over 20, 30 years, however old they are. And you expect them to change like in 2 weeks,
for you.
in a month. So there's also that patience from yourself. But I think the deeper question is knowing what you want.
Yeah.
Because that changes all the time. If you asked the same question a year ago, especially to Ola, what do you want? You'd be like, ooh.
Completely different.
It's changed.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's
even with us, like when we listen to certain
Previous
podcast episodes,
going
like,
back.
I don't feel that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like your things change. But I guess to kind of count on what we've been saying, where does compromise fit into it?
Well,
Well, fair enough, you can't change people.
Don't like that word.
But in a relationship, at some point, there has to be compromise in terms of what you bring and what you take. Because you're not always going to have it your way. They're not always going to have it their way. You have to meet in the middle at some point. Without having to change the person, and I think that's where the challenge in the relationship
But that's what I'm
comes.
saying. I don't think compromise is it. It's more just accepting and being loving towards that person.
Completely?
It can't. It can't always be like that.
No.
It can't.
Because like when you're compromising, you're almost compromising yourself. I'm not saying it's bad to compromise, but there's moments where you start changing your own behaviour. 10 years down the line, you realise how much you've changed and why you've changed is because of that person.
But that's the thing. If you really do love somebody and you really cherish your relationship and you feel like the compromise is going to benefit you both, so, not just the relationship, but benefit you as a person.
So it's not a compromise, it's a change.
I think it's worth doing. Like if it's something like, say, I don't know if it's being more, I don't know, communicative or something like that. That's something that you will benefit from anyway, because you can take that from outside of your relationship and use that with like personal in life and stuff.
Family, friends, everyone around you.
Yeah, or like maybe learning how to treat someone with respect. These things are like skills you're going to benefit from in life. So that, I feel like that's fine. But if it's mad stuff like, I don't know, what's a bad compromise?
I was going to say, so I think a lot of women, we compromise a lot. For
their time,
our bodies, our careers, for the man. I think we do it too much. That's why when I get in a relationship, I don't like to compromise because I feel like we do it too much. We do it in our careers. When we have to have kids, that we have to stay with them. You can go back to work, but I have to hold on my career, and then it goes years by years, and then I'm like, I stay at home mum now. I know, and then I compromise when I come home. I have to cook for you.
You're saying have. You're saying all this have.
Yes,
it's a choice, right?
Culturally,
That is culturally,
society,
Even like some of my aunties, the way they wait. I don't want to be like to my daughter because the way they talk to us is like, oh, even though you have to cook for your husband, you have to make sure you look nice all the time. I'm like, okay, but what are you telling your sons? What are you telling them?
What does he bring?
What's the lessons that are being taught to your sons?
So I'm saying like that's why for me now, I wouldn't say I'm a feminist. I understand some of the traits they have because like my culture has taught me to be something that I don't think I can do. I don't mind. I enjoy cooking, but it's like, for example, doing dishes. I enjoy doing them, but when someone tells you to do them, you
don't want to do it. Yeah. You're like, I was going to do it anyway, and I'm not going to do it.
I enjoy cooking, but when I'm told I have to do it every single day,
or there's that expectation, right?
But I think that's where and I'm glad you mentioned that because again, culturally, that is part of my culture growing up. But for me, growing up, I started to kind of question things and sort of think, actually, why is that the case? Why does my wife have to cook and clean and do all these things? What am I doing? Why can't I come home and help as well? Personally, I don't really subscribe to a lot of those kind of traditions in the sense of it's a woman's job, it's a man's job. Like we mentioned before, I believe men and women should be equal in terms of rights and everything and all of that. We are different biologically. So to the point you mentioned about having a child and having to be at home, the way it is biologically, when you're pregnant, you are going to have to take time off.
Exactly.
That's just the way it is. There's a point where even at work, they will say, you can't work here anymore. For our safety, for your safety, we don't want to get sued, take the time off. I will come home, I will wash dishes, I will cook. That's not a problem. But you're just, the way your body is, the way it is, you're going to have to take time off. It becomes difficult when it's mixed in with culture and your parents and grandparents say, look, this is how we've done it. But that worked for them back in Africa. Now we're here in Western society, things are a little bit different. You can work a bit more, we can get an au pair, we can get a nanny, we can change things up. I get it, but this is the thing, it's like, as much as it has changed, there's some things that don't change. So in an aspect of like how women are demanded to men in terms of being financially stable,
even if a woman works, we still need to spend a lot of time at home with a kid. And this is why a lot of the time we do look for men that earn a lot more money, because it's like, it's stressful already. Looking after a child. I have a godson, yeah, and my best friend had her baby. And I didn't understand what motherhood was like until I actually watched her go through it. And I was like, there's no way that you can actually work and look after your child to the best ability. You can when they get a bit older, but within that first, like, 4 years, yeah, you need to be there a lot. So I feel like this is why a lot of the time are similar, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, do you have a job, blah, blah, blah. Because don't be in a relationship with me, expect me to have your child, destroy my body, sit at home, and then you can't even buy simple food, electricity, simple pampers to wipe nyash. You can't provide. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I do like traditional in a sense, but not true traditional. Like, I don't want to be able to not leave my house and have to cover my face and wear things to my ankles. No, but also I want a man to be able to provide. And same way, I enjoy cooking, like you said. Like, I enjoy cooking and looking after my man. That's not a problem. But don't be coming home expecting me like, where's the food? Like, whoa, that energy.
It's the expectation.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I what do you guys think we men want? Because obviously you know what women want, we know what men want.
That's the question. I like that.
We want, because
do you want to start?
Okay.
Keep it simple.
I can say this, yeah. I feel like women know what we want more than men, because, for example,
That was not the question.
That's another one. Wow.
Because, like,
Justification.
I've met guys, I talked to a guy, said, oh, we want a girl to be loyal, want her to be independent, want her to grind, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then I think I'm that kind of person, and I've been in a relationship, and like, I'm independent. I don't always bother you. I don't nag. But then I get stuff like, oh, you're too distant, you don't share, you're not around, you're not loving. I'm like, oh my.
Oh, what,
days.
the guy said that to you?
Yeah, I'm like, so what do you want? Like, you said you want independent to look after myself, but then you're nagging me for not being always there for you, all loving and bothering you all the time. Like, and they say they wanna, and then an example, some of these married women that marry like women that are maybe like earning more money than them, or they're in a hype. I'm not saying it's a common trait, but I've seen it. Like, they all end up cheating on women that are maybe a bit younger or making less money than the woman that they married. I'm just like, what is it? What do you guys want? You're confused yourself.
I know what they want. They want dependent mothers that are not actually their mothers. That's what they want.
And looking after them.
I've
heard this.
They want someone who's gonna mother them, cook, clean, rub their head. Oh, what's wrong, babe? It's okay. They want it, because men, they act so strong outside of the house. But let me tell you something,
We're strong.
all the guys that I've dated, when they come home, they're calling up in your chin. Oh, babe. Oh, stroke me. Oh, listen, they want it. Nah, for real. Listen, you guys do it. You know you do it. You act too strong, but when you come, you'll just be there sucking breath like a baby. It's true. So they want to be mothered, but they also they want you to be dependable on them. They want to feel wanted, basically. So like, they want you to go to them for everything or ask them before things, and it don't really make sense. It's like, do you want me to be a leader, or do you want me to be a follower? Do you want me to be a mum, or do you want me to be a child? What do you want? But they want the two
too much
combined.
expectation. Too
Trust
much.
me.
Like, so what do you guys want?
Yeah.
You know what? I've just been here listening, and my chest has just been. You know what? No, to a certain degree, I 100% pick up some of the points you mentioned about us wanting, or me wanting, like a woman who's got her own independent. I think obviously it's subjective to different guys. For me, it's a piece of partnership. It's like you said, I don't want a child, I don't want a parent-child relationship. I want a partner. I want to know that if, when I'm blessed enough to have children and have a family, that if anything happens, God forbid, that maybe I can't work for a few months, I know that my woman has got my back. I'm not asking her to go out and make £1 billion. I know that, okay, you know what? She's working, we've got savings, we're building together. While I'm incapacitated to work, while I'm in hospital, whatever, she's got my back. I don't expect to come home every single day. She's waiting on me hand and foot. She's got my food ready. She's there like, no. The relationship is never going to be perfect. I can't ask for you what I can't bring to the table myself.
Yeah.
Like you said, again, because times have changed, I can't just go to work, come home and, okay, everything needs to be ready. I have to chip in as well. They're my kids as much as they're your kids. I'm going to look after them and raise them as... Because I see a lot of men on some of these like talk shows will say, I have to babysit my kids. And I'm like,
babysit.
that's what I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's what they say. That's what I'm saying.
men?
They're like, oh, this is what I mean. And I'm like, no,
Okay.
and those ones, no, don't get twisted. I do not agree with that. And I'm like, the fact that you think that, there's something wrong in terms of the way you've been raised and the way you see life. That they're your kids. You're looking after your kids. You're not babysitting. Oh, my wife went out, I had to babysit. They're your kids. What do you mean? Were you not there when they were? You were there, flinging it around
everywhere. Wow.
But no, it's also like I mentioned again, like you mentioned before, the communication piece. I think it's quite important. Being able to express yourself openly and honestly, but also being able to accept criticism. Because I've been in situations in the past where
that's true.
I get comments. Oh, I don't like this about you. You didn't take me to this place. I wanted to go STK, but we went Nando's. And I'm like, first of all, I'm saving money. Okay, thank you, mate. We're on a budget, and it's like when that energy is given back.
It's war.
They can't take it.
I agree.
They can't
No,
take
but it's the way that you're coming at them.
It's a
It's a reaction.
Yeah.
You're not
But this is what I
saying-
mean. What I'm saying.
You're not saying, hun, listen. All right, cool.
No, but they're slinging
I
it.
think
They're
it
slinging
will
it.
hurt.
You sling it back. It's a different
Did you hear
way.
what she just said?
I
What
think
is
it
that?
will hurt worse if a guy actually sits down and he's like, babe, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you need to do this because I don't like. My heart will start crumbling. I'd rather they,
Really?
I'd rather they say it in an argument because then,
Wow.
That's what you're used to, innit?
Yeah, maybe, because it's like it burns your soul. Because them ones, when someone sits you down, it's like when your parents sit you down and say, you know what, I'm just really disappointed, and they walk off,
you're
you
like,
sit in your bedroom. Like,
No, that
You're
hurt.
thinking about
Why
Yeah,
did she
you
not just
know-
beat me?
just beat me again.
That's
Like,
more.
yeah.
She's disappointed. I can hear her sobbing in the next room.
Let me
Females
sleep.
care. We care about what men think. I think it's from a young adult. If you think about it, your mum and your dad,
Upbringing.
you care more about what your dad says to you than your mum.
Yeah.
Like, as
My
obviously,
mum's
I
always
care.
talking.
For me, I love my mum anymore, but I'm just saying. Some girls that care about what their dad think that they're man, and that they grow up with that. If you have brothers, you care about what they think, blah, blah, blah. And it goes into relationships and stuff like. So when it's just like when you come into me, you want to tell me so, just come and like, you see how I'm talking now, like, babe, like, there's a little couple of things I want to talk to you about. Don't come with me like looking stern or anything. Make it a bit jokey and like.
But people
nice,
don't want it.
serious.
It
No
all
one's
depends
a
on what you want because people don't want that jokey affair as well.
Not jokey, but you see like
Light-hearted.
Light-hearted. Make it like because it will hurt. It will burn me. You know, I can't like. It will hurt.
I think women, we definitely take criticism worse. I agree with him 100% because we're not used to it. Because a lot of the time we do. A lot of the time we blame men for all the issues in our relationship. I'm not gonna lie, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like if you ask a woman about her ex or what her ex relationship was like, she'll always blame the man.
The man was a
She
joke.
will never, she'll never take accountability
He's a
for
waste man.
herself.
Men are trash.
We're not used to being because
Lord.
a lot of the time, majority of the time, it is the guy's fault.
Hold on. I'm gonna let her have it.
Majority of the time it is, and it's over stupid things, that like problems arise. But it's like usually a guy does something stupid. Let me just be honest, Then we get annoyed, we're upset. He ends up wooing us back. We get back together, and then we hold on to that negativity or whatever it is that they done.
That's feeling 'cause you're not over it.
And then and that's our part in contributing to the downfall of the relationship because we haven't let it go. And what we don't understand is this is what we do, and then we blame the men on the relationship. But it's like no, you should have ended it after he did whatever he did. Do you know what I mean?
But I love him.
I love him.
I feel like in terms of that kind of situation, I feel like one more easy to talk to because like for example, if a guy's wrong, it's just like they're just so prideful and so hard-headed that it's hard to like get them to understand maybe your point of view. I think as females we're more understanding, we're more open than a guy is. In that kind of situation, like if you ask a guy what happened to the relationship, he won't want to talk about it because like he doesn't want to. I think he won't want to admit he's blaming
That's
it.
in the past, man.
Yeah,
No,
they will never
talking
admit
about?
they will never talk about the past because like, they don't want to admit their wrongs or maybe they don't see it. So I think
I
it hard
on
to
that
see
one as well,
that
like
as well.
we had a conversation way back early into the podcast days about men when they break up with their partners. It takes us longer to actually recover from a breakup, but we don't do it the natural way of just like letting it be. Our man then will be like, hey bruv, let's go clubbing, let's go when we move to the next thing. Like we don't actually naturally
like
sit down and process everything. So there's a lot of things that we're carrying from one relationship into the next. So you know how you say when people enter into like they break up, they get back together, they're still harbouring that pain. There's a lot of men that are still harbouring from pain from exes from way back in secondary school. And they haven't learned from it at all. And I think that's a whole other thing about relationships and dynamics. It's all about learning from each other, but also learning about yourself. So this whole need question, like it will change. You have to really understand your own needs. And there's a thing that I used to say was the things that I desire in life or from a partner, I must reflect them myself. So if I want someone who can communicate, I must work on my own communication because I can't get upset when she's telling me that she's going to be 10 minutes late and it's actually time now where we're supposed to be meeting up. She needs to tell me in advance, but I need to make sure that I'm doing that too. And I think there's that whole kind of understanding that people need to have about your needs and wants. You also have to think, can you reflect that too? Because you can't be like, if I want a queen,
You gotta be.
I've got to be a king.
As
simple as that.
I agree.
I can't be a prince.
I
can't be a prince.
Yeah. And
I get that.
That's one thing I need to say to the ladies out there that are listening, yeah? Why are you asking for Mercedes-Benz and Bugattis when you're tapping your Oyster card? Don't piss me off, please. Me, yeah, I don't business. Honestly, I don't judge guys. Like, if you have a car, if you don't have a car, whatever, that's your business. Some people are saving for other things. They might not want to invest in a car because of depreciation. Do you know what I mean? And the value. Listen, I'm not an idiot. Do you know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. If I'm walking and my husband's walking and my boyfriend's walking, it's fine. We can walk, but we'll be going home to our beautiful house. Amen. Hallelujah. Do you know what I mean? But all these guys, I want car. What you do? You have one weave on your head. Because you put one weave and one eyelash, yeah, all of a sudden now you think you're bougie.
126-inch Brazilian.
Thank you. Alright, it's hurting. No, that's not
My head up.
No, but I know what you mean. Like, women, we need to take it down a notch.
Women have lists
that.
and stuff. I'm like, why do you have a list? Like, you're not gonna meet someone like that perfect, because if they are that perfect, it's just like there's always gonna be something that's off on that list. Because I think when we have like expectations and they don't meet it, they get more disappointed and then they go on to the next one.
But you know what?
If you keep on moving like that, it's not gonna work out for you. That's all.
One thing I find about expectation, I used to roll with a list of expectation or stuff that I look for. And you meet someone, especially on the first date, you're like, oh my gosh, they're ticking the boxes. And you're literally taking that title. So if you're looking for someone who's family orientated, all they say is two lines of, yeah, I went to see my mum last week Saturday. You're like, oh my gosh, this person's family orientated. 2 weeks later, or like 2 months later, you're like, hold on, this person's not exactly what I thought they were. And that's the problem with having those expectations kind of like written down in that sort of level. You should kind of assess the relationship as they come and how you feel in it. Obviously, there's desires and wants. Of course, you want someone who's family orientated. Yeah. But you also need to give yourself time to realize whether that person is actually family orientated by their actions rather than their words. Because a lot of times we're just taking words. I love my family. I swear last month you said you want to kill your mum. And that's the real action. And I think like we get distracted so often about that. That's why guys can stunt. Hey, look at me, got the bottle, yes, got out there, look, flossing. But then when you're actually with him and he's like, yes, go Nando's. What happened to my guy?
SDK,
you saying this on the first date, but now...
Let me tell you something,
He saw this at home, he's got the Mercedes C-Class, what's this about? Sorry.
Let me tell you, remember I told you about this guy, this so-called footballer. To be fair, he was a footballer, yeah. He played overseas.
Just going through hard times.
Yeah, no, he played overseas. I googled him and everything. He was legit the person he claimed to be, yeah. When I met him, nice car, if he drives me around me, I'm like so cool. A lot of time people look at me and they seem like, oh, she wants this or she's this kind of bougie girl. And really, I'm not. Like, I'm so calm. I don't care what you do. I'm more interested in you being stable than you being flashy, because flashy stuff never impressed me because I grew up broke. Do you know what I mean? And my personality banged and got me through life. Gang. But yeah, no, for real, it did. I didn't rely on like designers, so when I look at other people's designers, I'm like, what are you even doing? Do you know what I mean? Work on yourself. But this guy had flashy cars, this, that, took me out to dates, restaurants, took me to Marriott, penthouse suite over the Canary Wharf. I was like, okay, bitch.
That's £400 a night.
Listen, I'll come to the house. Where's the electricity? Where's the electricity in your house? Where's the food? No food. No food for me to eat. There's nothing at home. Nothing. Not at all.
No rice at home.
You think it's joke? We will go walking around for ages looking for somewhere to top up the electric key. I said, how
Man's on the electric key as well. Swear down.
I'm tired.
But what car?
I don't know. It was something saying. I don't really know stuff about cars here, but inside was all lit up, like you know.
Nice car, but
it's rented. He pays monthly.
No. I don't think it was rented. Yeah. But I had my suspicions. I feel like it was his and someone else's car that they both invest. You see how they sharing? You see how people? Yeah.
It's a facade, man.
It's all a facade. It's all a facade. I'm not into that, mate. I want stable, someone. I don't mind if you work at your delivery driver. That's fine. You just save your money. You invest well. I'm happy. I can't be doing all this extra Bugatti, but no food in the fridge.
But what we want sometimes
no toilet tissue.
Is not what we need. I feel like what actually want is not what we need. So
I was gonna go.
That's why you can't answer it though. Could you answer that question then? What do you want?
Stable, man.
Okay, I'll ask them what I need instead.
What do you
think we can answer that concept, maybe not what we want.
Yeah.
For what I need, I can honestly say that I don't know what I need right now. That's why I'm not jumping into any relationship because I myself I'm not ready, so I can't expect the person I'm gonna be to be ready as well for me to be open with that. So yeah, how about you guys though?
Yeah, she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we want or what we need?
Can you answer what you want though?
What I want changes over time, to be fair.
See, that's why
from being 21 to 26 to 30, that kind of changes in terms of being young. It's about holidays and traveling, someone to have fun with. As you get older, it's like, okay, cool, who am I going to settle with and start a family with? For me, I'm at that point now at 28. It's that serious point of, okay, cool, let's kind of level up in terms of us as individuals. So wanting and needing is roof over the head, so a house, saving for a deposit on a mortgage. Someone stable. Have we got an emergency fund? Are we planning for the next 1, 2, 3 years? Are we planning and preparing for children? What do we do if, God forbid, one of them comes out with, I don't know, something, not great? Are we equipped and are we ready to deal with that? If the car breaks down, have we got enough money? If there's no electricity, have we got enough money to top it up? So I'm at that point where it's like, okay, I'm starting to have those serious conversations and kind of thoughts with Anton in my head and in relationships. It's like, okay, let's get serious now. Obviously, we want to enjoy life. We're going to travel. We're going to live life. We're going to do Dubai, all these nice things, whatever. But let's also have the serious conversations.
Yeah.
And it's about being able to kind of balance that. So for me, it's having someone who understands where I'm coming from. Because again, I've been in situations where it's been like, oh, let's go holiday. Let's do this. I'm like, that's nice. But you're thinking about the next 6 months. I'm thinking about the next 6 years. Let's think about the future. That's where my mindset is. And it's been able to have someone who has or can match that mindset. But again, this is where it gets difficult because everyone's different and I can't expect someone to be at that same level. Anton, you're like
because even on that one, like, that's what you want. You want someone who can see into the future, but then at the same time you meet someone who's the parallel opposite to that and it teaches you something in that as well.
That's true.
And that's why it's so difficult. I think for me it's just entering like a relationship with someone that I feel that I can do work as partners. We can both equally see each other. We know what we want and we're both going to help each other along that journey, and we're both going to take responsibilities for making that vision possible. And that obviously needs to come with some communication. There needs to be moments where we could take constructive criticism and actually take it on board and being like, for the purpose of this partnership, I'm going to try and do everything to make it work in a particular way. Mindset is definitely a big thing. Just someone who understands where you're coming from or can actually understand what you're saying. Because there's people who are like, I want to have 10 houses. And if you meet someone that's like, I don't want 10 houses, then you two are not seeing the same sort of way. They might be discontent with just 9 to 5, going home, weekend down in the pub. That's not someone that's going to be working. It could work. But for me, I don't think that's someone I want to be around with, because also that energy of them wanting to be lazy or, in my eyes, just chilling at home is not going to be effective towards me and make me want to push on further. So it's just like, I can't really say what my need is.
It's funny because do you think it's a problem when people like ask on the first initial dates kind of like what the person wants to do, their future goals, their 5-year plan or 10-year plan?
No.
Do you think it's inappropriate?
I think it's delivery. I think it's delivery, yes. It depends, because if I come on the first day and someone's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? How many years? All this stuff. I'm like, relax. What's your name, first of all? What are you ordering? Then we can get into it. So I think it depends on the dynamic of the relationship off the get-go. If we're in that vibe, because I like energy. I meet you, cool, or your credentials, that's nice. Are we vibing? Is the chemistry there? Okay, it's there. I feel comfortable. Okay, now you can ask me. Maybe not that. I don't like interviews. If we're on a date, I want a date.
Because
I don't want to
people
interview.
put their best foot forward as well.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself in 5? I'm like, is this interview done?
Well,
I'm like, is it done? Like,
get the job.
But if the energy isn't there, then maybe on the second or third date. If it's popping off on the first date, ask it. Do you have plans? What do you want to like? Maybe just a little few questions here and there. I'll ask it back. We'll know whether or not we're even interested in each other. But I think this is where it gets tough, because you don't want to ask straight off the bat, but at the same time, you don't want to waste 2-3 months, 15 dates, all this money to find out that, okay, this person
doesn't want to have kids.
Wow.
But you know, I think some people when they don't find what they want, they like, get scared to go in a relationship. I think you can learn from relationships, so don't be like scared to go for it, because like you can learn from that. Okay, cool. I've learned that this is not what I want, so I know next time I won't go for the same kind of person. As well.
I think that's a big thing, because I think you learn so much more from relationships. So when you know what you want, it's usually based on what you experience.
Yeah.
So if you've been in a relationship of being in a relationship with someone who's cheated on you, you know that's not what you want. Yeah. I know that's an extreme case, but like you learn so much from your relationships.
Or has rough feet, like ooh.
You do, but then at the same time, a lot of people end relationships when they didn't really want to end the relationship. So it's like you might have left the cheater, but you still love that cheater, and then you search for the same qualities that was in that cheater. Does that make sense?
It might be a reflection of you at that time then.
Maybe.
Because like if you start seeking the same sort of person, there's something within you that you're needing to like fulfill within yourself, and maybe that might be an issue. Yeah, and that's why you keep attracting the same doggish man.
Because I always get the trash mate. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong, guys? I get the same trash all the time. But I don't like people who are too serious. I just want someone who's a bit like me. Because I say to my friends, I'm like half ratchet, half legit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what you're gonna get from your man, then, isn't it?
That's what I get. I feel like I'm searching for something, but it's like, why can't you just behave? Because I can behave. I'm half ratchet, half legit, but I can actually behave.
But his ratchet level is different.
Yeah, no, but
sometimes polar opposites attract for a reason. Maybe you don't need.
No, but I don't want someone who's boring. Maybe need someone that's like not boring,
What's
but
boring?
can
Like
put
too
you in
serious?
your place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, too serious. It's like my life is serious enough already. No matter what that we do, and it's like I want to be able to chill out,
enjoy life.
Yeah, but then I also want to be able to like go away from my man or whatever, do my stuff, and I want him to be working on stuff, not just sitting at home playing with his dick. Like, do you know what I mean? I want him to be doing, no, legitly though. But guys, I feel like they just don't know the levels. They go to the extreme sometimes. It's like they can't just be a little bit ratchet. They have to do all everything.
Give them a little door.
You give them
wide, open it completely wide.
Exactly.
But do you think it will come with age though?
No.
You know?
No.
I used to believe
I met people. I met younger people.
Time.
I met young people that are more mature than older people, and I met older people that are immature. And so it's just
that's why they're still single.
Not, huh?
That's why they're still single.
Most probably, but I'm just saying, like, age has nothing to do with it. Like, I have brothers. One that's young, he's very mature than some of these boys. I just kind of maintain around on the street.
It's true.
But yeah, age has nothing. What about females? Do you think your females depends on age, or do you think it's just?
I think experience. I'd say age, because when you're young, you want some wild stuff.
It's true.
I've just found with women, it's knowing what they want. Like, it's that piece of, I've met women who, they come, like we mentioned, with this long ass list. My man must tick all of these boxes. And I'm just there like...
I'm real. I'm not me in that.
I'm like, first of all, I'm like, that's not me. But I'm like, do you tick half of these ones yourself?
No, that's for
the equivalent.
That's not...
I'm like, you come... Like that. It's like, you come with this high list with all these demands, but you're bringing... You want this, but you're bringing
this. What you bringing to the table,
I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
It's so true.
No, darling.
It works for some people, though.
For some
that's
people,
the honesty of it, you know.
And I'm like, if they're happy, boy, that's on them. Not me.
I know what I want, what I feel like I need to a certain degree.
But I personally, I still feel that women are more demanding than men. I'm sorry.
Why do you say that?
Again, it's that piece of that long list and not understanding that it's a two-way thing. It's a very, okay, we're going to go on a date. You're going to pay because you're a man. It's your job because you're a man. What's a woman's job?
It's because you asked me out.
Yeah.
Exactly. You told me to come at my house.
But no one's communicating that part.
No, it's the truth though. Like, if you asked me out... I could have been at home. I'm wasting my makeup, my time. My time is very precious, Bobo. So
I'm paying for your service.
100. No, for my being in my company. Being in my company, Bobo.
Being in your presence, yeah.
So like she was saying earlier, there's certain things like culturally that you still take.
Yeah, from like parents and culture.
Like certain things you still take. Like it's just like I don't know. I feel like I want to be pampered when I go out. For me to be
that
like,
chivalry is
dead. It's not like I don't mind paying for it. It's just like it just feels like I feel so special. But like, okay.
She's like, excuse me.
I said no.
You know,
sometimes
Okay, good. So what?
But I won't see you again though. If I pay off the
on the first date.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. I get put off.
Wait. Hold on.
I'll do it calmly, but I'll just be like,
Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's say you go on the first date. When I say, I don't want to say perfect, but you meet a guy that has ticked every single box. You know, if you bring him home, mum, dad will love him. Everyone will love him. You know, it's gonna pop off. Chemistry is on point. Everything you want in a man, he has that. He's not perfect, but he's pretty much damn near close. You split the bill. You're not gonna see him again because of £8.
Do you know money can ruin relationships, right?
Yeah.
No, but it's
Ruin
because
it
of...
does.
No, but that I'm saying that first date, that £8-12 at Nando's or Vapi or wherever it is, you're telling me that will
I'll give you
ruin
a
it.
second chance. If it happens again,
Yeah.
What? You might be going through a hard time.
Let me know. No, but yeah.
On the first date. Babe, we're gonna split the bill because I'm buying the house.
I'd rather, it's not even like that. I'd rather you cook dinner for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather you cook dinner for me.
What?
But that's what I'm saying. Would you really come to his house? Because if I said, "Hey, babe, come to my house,"
You know what guy did?
Yeah, that's
Come to
what-
my spot.
I'm
gonna whip you up something.
home cooked milk.
McDonald's drive-thru. Come pick
What do you want? Madonna?
But there's
Madonna.
certain people you meet that you it's a certain vibe from them. Like you can trust to maybe let them cook for you on the first
I
date.
don't
It's
trust
cute.
people's house.
Like,
Yeah, I feel like if I said to a woman, "Look, listen, come to my house first date. Yeah,
no, but it's not.
I'm gonna cook for you.
No.
Yeah,
Man,
But
please,
you
you
sound
say
creepy.
shrimp and
You
steak.
sound creepy.
This is it.
Nah.
Shrimp and steak. I got the R&B playlist.
No, not like that.
She's like, I don't get down like that,
you'd be
Allah.
like, no, I'd be like, listen, yeah, I can't lie. Right now, financially, I'm not doing okay, but I do want to still like look after you, take you out. So I'd rather cook dinner for you. And then that's
but
a
you
bit
know
like
what?
that.
Let's go for a
Lisa.
coffee.
Or I'll be like,
that's
or
me.
instead of doing that, but okay, we don't have to go out right now. We can just start talking, and then when I trust you a bit better, then yeah, maybe we can let you cook dinner.
But you know what it is, yeah? It's lovely in an ideal world for a man to say that, but let me tell you something. A lot of women are not like us, you know? Because if a guy said that to me, I'd be like, well, at least he's honest, you know what I mean? A lot of women will be like,
Yeah.
They'll
What's that?
block you! They will just block you.
I know.
Block her Instagram, block her Facebook. Listen, they will block you.
People
on
love
everything.
blocking these days,
Trust
man.
me. A lot of women are
There's
not
plenty
like-
more fishes in the sea, innit?
I just feel like,
Until they
I'm
get
not
to
being
50.
funny.
That's
But this
too
is the
late.
thing about
Look
paying
back.
on a date, yeah? It's like, a relationship is an investment, do you get me? If you don't have the money to invest, then you shouldn't be going on
Shouldn't be
relationship.
dating.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I generally believe
What do you
that.
reckon the world would be like without money?
Ooh.
Because that's what.
But what do you have to
That's
bar?
what
What
I
do you
mean.
bartering
No,
goods
because that's
from?
what I keep thinking. When it comes to like dating, we're always basing it on money and credentials and status. Like those three elements, where it should really be about the human element.
Character.
But we're
What
not
does-
animalistic like we used to be thousands of years ago.
No,
We don't
but like
want-
I think this is what causes a lot of problems. So a guy will try and show a certain status, or he'll put himself in a certain way to you, so you can be like, this is a man. This is how he is. And then when you start talking to him on the phone, he's like, babes, man, it's hard. And you're like, who is this guy?
I don't want to show off though. You watch This Is Us.
Nah.
Oh my, this guy, yeah. Let's just say sometimes like be creative of what the stuff you do. Like he had $20 and he took this girl to the fun fair. Like it was just so sad seeing him. Like he had to choose between getting her an umbrella and getting her an ice cream. So he didn't get her the umbrella because he knew that she wanted that ice cream at the end. And it was kind of, she was like, what the heck's happening? But he explained to himself at the end, like, listen, I only had $20 of me and I wanted to show you a good time, but I know you wanted the apple, that's why I didn't get the umbrella. She saw him again because she's like, oh, the honesty and like,
Yeah,
you
you have
try.
to.
Like,
So would you rate that?
There's some stuff is free. Like you can take me, let's go to the park or something. Like, there's some
So you'd
stuff like
respect that. You'd respect. So
for me,
again,
I don't even like dinner dates. I like creative. I always go paintballing or something
Yeah,
fun
same.
or creative.
Yeah,
like,
Paintball's
so
expensive though.
for me,
can't
when
I?
it comes to like money, like people could say, "Oh, money's in the way." No, there's stuff out there that's free that you can still have fun. Simple.
So you respect that more? A guy who say there's two guys,
they're showing off.
they're
like,
equal. One's got the dollars, but he's just the basic. Let's go out to the most expensive restaurant. He's just doing the number thing.
That's fun
Status.
sometimes.
Then there's the other guy who's like, look,
shard.
I haven't got the money, but I got that creativity. I'm gonna take you to the fun fair. We're gonna do some fun things. We're gonna do
Because that
guacamole.
lasts longer. The other one is not going to last long. It's a difference. Like if you're thinking long term, you should think also about that kind of little stuff like that as well. Like creativity will last you in your marriage or whatever you want to do.
It's true.
Listen,
an
I'm
effort
going out
thing
all the
as well,
time.
isn't
it?
And then the bouginess, like I'm thinking like it's how you do it. It's probably do this to every single girl you meet.
Yeah, because you can take anyone to that
Yeah.
nice expensive
Restaurant,
restaurant.
True.
Whereas
Like how
the-
many girls you taking here? Lucy, Bob, whatever.
Keith again.
Wait, yeah, when the waiter's like,
That
oh, you,
table there. Yeah.
wait, you're getting the steak again, yeah?
The usual. No, that's too much.
Actually, let me talk about this. Like, let's say, for example, you're seeing this person, it's got really serious. You know, you become intimate. They call you someone else's name.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Pardon?
And let's say you like. Okay, for example, you like this person, it's going well.
No,
right
I
now.
heard you.
Yeah.
That's my response.
Do you stop? Do you continue? Do you leave? Do you talk about it? Or do you guys?
It's a game changer. Like it'll kill the vibe.
Yeah,
It will definitely kill the vibe. Yeah, man
Is
down.
this like the first time, or is this like deep into?
And you know her ex-man is called Bob.
The first time.
And she,
I don't know, man. I'm. Nah.
you know, it's
You
gonna
know,
kill
you
the
have
vibe.
to-
You're not going to
Yeah,
continue.
You have to act like you didn't hear it. To be fair, you have to because what you're
Depends
gonna
how
do
good
in
it
the
is at
middle
that
of it, you're
time,
gonna
innit?
be like, What? What did you say? Like, you're gonna make it awkward for me. You might as well just be like, oh yeah.
They made it awkward already.
No, but people can say
I'll start
things
speaking
and not
Spanish and
knowing.
pretend that was part of the...
No, that means amazing. Really, Tony means amazing. Tony Johnson.
No, because my name Lisa, it means straight in Spanish. So some words you even know, mate.
So someone saying straight in the bedroom. Is that what you're telling me?
Someone told me, I was like, yes. So I'm trying to.
That is so
I will lie
funny.
through my teeth.
What are you doing?
I told you I'll start speaking another language. You don't believe me? I'll pretend.
What if you say?
So
what if he
you said
says
it, but if he said it,
Oh.
So he's like, Morenica.
Who?
no, you can't say
Yeah.
it twice. No, if he said it twice, it's a mistake. Nah. He's forgotten where he is.
We have to start. That's a bit dead.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about like, yo, like, what
happened?
are you cheating? Like, what's no,
No, if it's the first time, I don't even know what I'll do. To be fair, like I really don't. I wouldn't, because I'll feel like, okay, let me. My mother's finished, fam.
Get yours.
What's the difference? Because he would have started. He would have started. With the woman in his mind anyway. She's obviously on his mind, so it's not like he's even having sex with me. He's probably just envisioning her. So I might as well get my hype out of it. You know what I mean? And
But
then
you might have just slipped up. Have you never called someone like the wrong
I
name?
have. But my ex is.
Well, I almost slipped up, but
Not even in the
myself
bedroom,
back
but
in.
just naturally, you're just in a conversation with someone. You're going,
Even with a friend. Yeah.
But then I'm not intimate with them. It's a
No,
difference.
but you've got to be
For friends.
careful with what you say in bed, though. This is why you can't be saying people's names. You said, babe.
I've actually never slipped up like that. That's crazy. You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
It's less like amateur. Like, what are you doing?
I've saved it once.
That's too much. Have you said it?
I saved it.
I was about to say, I thought you said
The opening letters are the same. So it's like, and then you
No,
But it wasn't like I was thinking of that person. It just, I don't know, it just happened.
You were thinking them, man. You're the person
Unconscious,
who
isn't
comes
it?
to
At least you saved it. That's.
Did you not save yours?
God. No, it's not happened to me, man.
Did you not save yours? Did you trying to save that? So when you cheated,
When you did it.
yeah.
The direct questions.
No.
Okay, no. Do you think it's too? For example, if you get intimate on the first date, is that off-putting for you guys?
Not for me, no.
Nah.
You guys are
And she
liars.
texts you.
That's
Why are we
liars.
lying?
Actually, texts you
Why are we-
afterwards. Do you respond?
It's casual. It's normal. It's not going to change
I
anything.
treat everything by like case by case scenario. Like I don't have this whole
Because this the thing. I've heard.
there's got to be 24
Why not? But
hours.
I've heard
you
of
can't mix on the
cases.
first date or anything like that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I
too
just
much.
treat it as it happens. How do I feel in that moment?
I've heard of cases where people will do that on the first date and apparently they'll still be together after 20, 30 years. Why does it, what you think we just...
These cases there, I hear them.
People
I
would
don't-
say
you-
cases.
I hear it. Like, I don't see this in real life.
Do you know what I mean? I
Wait,
don't do
Vince,
that.
please.
So you
Get
think
in
man are
line.
just out on the first date, get there now?
Yeah,
No, you know, yes.
Obviously, you got to protect yourself in that instance because there are certain guys that play that game of like one time and bang and that's it. You ain't gonna hear from me.
Men are driven by the vagina. Wars have been fought because of vagina. Please, let's not forget, just because we live in this world with Balenciagas and glitz and glamour, these are animals, okay? We are mammals. Men are driven by the vagina and
Sex
reproductive
drive.
system. If you give it to them straight away, I'm sorry, ladies, I'm sorry to break it down. If you give it to them straight away, they're going to lose a bit of interest and it's going to be even harder to gain their interest back. That's the truth. Sorry.
There is an
I don't
element of
care.
that. I agree
don't
with
care
that.
what anyone says.
I agree
And
with
it
that.
puts a lot of guys off. No one wants something that's readily available. If you're in a sweet store, and there's 100 Snickers bars there, and there's one, I don't know, fucking Kinder Bueno on the shelf, are you gonna want the Snickers bar or are you gonna want the Kinder Bueno? If everyone's flinging vagina everywhere, like they're not gonna, he's gonna be like, okay, I can get this like that.
The
What am I
chase.
working for?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Guys,
Where
want
do
the
we get to
chase.
that point where we men are working harder for it? Do you think women have got a point to play in that?
Yeah, you need to hold on to the cookie. To be fair, I'm
Kill
talking
them to the cookie?
No, hold on to the cookie.
Hold on, okay.
I'm talking all this year, but
90-day rule, yeah.
do I actually
Steve Harvey?
employ it myself? That's another question.
I know.
But
The answer's already there.
no, but you know what it is? I know what the truth is. It's just about having the strength to do it within
Discipline,
myself.
innit?
The
Yeah,
discipline.
yeah,
That's the thing. Is knowing what it is you need to do. That's the first step. Okay, so everyone just join me in my struggle. Honey.
Nah.
No, it's the truth. You got to hold on to the cookie.
For me, I don't, like when it comes to that kind of situation, yeah, it can happen, but you just want like him to like text you to see if you're okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like trash. You know what I mean? Little text like, "Oh, you're home, okay?"
Do you think that's
I
all
don't
we
feel
want though?
Huh?
Do you think that's what all men
Yeah.
want?
What, to sex?
Yeah. Because sometimes I get that feeling from women is that, all you men want is just to Pam, just to beat. Just
But that's for
it
you to
is,
prove
though.
them wrong, isn't it? Do you
I
find
feel
that a
like
difficult aspect?
I feel like that's what I've had to...
Yeah.
Over the years, I feel like when I kind of get into a situation,
You just
with someone,
have to
I feel
show
like I
you.
have to kind of put a lot of energy into kind of being like, hey, I'm not trash. Before we date, I know you've been hurt. I feel like I put so much energy into like, yo, we're not all dead, we're not all mad, we're not all dogs. I'm not just gonna disappear. And I feel like it's because a lot of men in a lot of women's early kind of stages, their first boyfriends, the first guy they interact with, have been the guys who they pam, they lose that interest, like you said, they don't hear from them again. These women are like, what have I done wrong? I gave you one of the most sacred parts of my body. You've taken that, you've had your fun, you've eaten a cookie, there's crumbs, now you're eating next woman's cookie, like wagwan.
Cookie monster.
So
And then I'd come and it's like, no, listen, no, the last 4 have lied, they've cheated, they've hurt me, you're the same. I'm like, huh?
Do you see them as broken then? Like, how do you view that?
Broken? It's a reflection of society currently. It's a reflection of how we men treat women.
Yeah.
We have to, like you said, we have to take responsibility. And at first I was like, no, man, but I'm like, you know what? Actually, I'm part of this world as well.
Yeah.
I'm part of the problem.
All the other brothers
I have to assess. Yeah, I'm like,
before me have
how
fucked
can we?
up.
They're fucked up, so I have to be the guy to like show and prove that actually we're not
They're
all
still
this
good
way.
ones.
And I try my best because one thing that hurt me was actually I was with my young cousins. At the time, one was 11, one was 14. And I can't remember, we were going go-karting or somewhere. We were going, because we try and do like family fun days out. And I remember the 11-year-old was just like, yeah, men are trash. And I'm there driving like, yeah. I'm like, wait. I'm like, where are you getting this from?
Yeah.
What have you been through? What have you seen for you to say men are... I'm like, you're 11. Who you dating? Bob the Builder. What have you seen? Or you've obviously been exposed to something that has been so traumatic for you to say, men are trash. And I know you've picked that up from somewhere.
Yeah.
But for me, it hurt me that you haven't even hit your puberty years. You haven't even been in that situation. Yet you're already subject to this world where your view of men has been tainted already. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to show these young girls? So for me, it's like making that effort to show them when I'm dating that this is how I treat a woman. This is how you should be treated. This is the standard. Look at the way your dad treats your mum. Like a queen, you should strive for that. And that's something that I'm going to teach my daughters and it goes back to this piece about being demanding. And I'm going to tell my daughters that, look, you need to set the standards high, but at the same time, you need to match those standards yourself. You can't come here and be like, my man has to have this. You can do that, but you have to be this and that yourself. Don't come here with all that energy if you ain't going to put it back. You want 10, bring 10. Bet.
It's true.
Just like that. Were you going to say something? Sorry. You had your...
Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny something you mentioned about what your parents are like. I think a lot of kids, when they say these men are trash things, it's a lot of what they've repeated or heard from their mums or aunties or stuff about the dads or the baby dads or whatever, how they behave. I think that has a lot to do with why a lot of women feel damaged or maybe they feel broken or whatever. It's like when you bring life into the world and a man's not there, I feel sometimes women can't separate the father and the lover. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they put it all together, but it's like someone could be an amazing lover and a crap father, and someone could be an amazing father and a crap lover. You need to distinguish the two, because then they'll be like, oh, I don't know, say if a man cheats on the wife, and ends up leaving, the mum will be like, oh, he's no good, he's shit, he's this, he's that. But it's like, and then the child will hear, oh, men are no good, but it's not men are no good. He was no good in a relationship, but he's not no good in general. Like, he might be a good father. Do you know what I mean? It's being able to distinguish the difference. Because at that age, clearly they haven't been through a relationship. So you're just mimicking what you've heard elsewhere.
Because that's the point that I was going to raise on as well. Because I think even growing up, the only couples that I can think of was my aunt and uncle, because I grew up in a single household, so I didn't have that kind of mum-dad relationship. So I was always looking at other relationships, and the only ones that I could really look at is my aunt and uncle, and their dynamic is different. So he's more like a laid-back, chilled. My aunt's got energy. I'm like, how does this work? And that's what I've taken away from it, because they've been together for like 25 years, and I'm like, it works because they're very different, but they still have a common goal and they work together. And that's what it really takes, is for us to literally not model, but to see others around us in other successful, good relationships and look at them and actually understand how do they work, what is the dynamics.
I think that's the really important piece.
But you also got to put into culture as well, because you might be looking at your mum and dad, but they're strong Nigerians, and you're like, actually, I want my partner to be free and not have this whole gender expectation placed on it. So you just got to think about what's right for you. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's a case by case scenario.
It is. It definitely.
How do you enter that relationship, and what do you want? How do you want to? Do you want to be the wife at home, or do you want to be out and about?
It constantly changes. I feel like you just need to kind of. It's a difficult one, because it's like you kind of need to establish love for you to be able to like compromise and to mold together in the future. But then how can you establish love if you don't know what it is that will make you fall in love? Do you know what I mean?
You gotta love yourself, number one.
It's just difficult. Like, it's a difficult one because it's like, I don't know, because one minute you won't. So for me personally, it's not that I don't want to have kids. I can't see myself having children. But a lot of people say that it's because you haven't met a man that makes you want to have a child. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, now I could say, yeah, I don't want kids, and a guy might get with me like, oh great, she doesn't want kids. But if I fall in love, God knows, I might be like, oh my God, I want to have all your babies. So it's kind of like, and age as well for women. Like, I'm 25 now, but it's like, God knows, in maybe 3-4 years, 5-6 years, I might be like, it's ticking, time's ticking, like what's going on? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's just difficult, man. Love is confusing.
With all this, like, we're talking about, I feel like it just put like this whole menace trash. I don't really like saying that, even though some of it is true for certain people, because I have older brothers and they're not trash. But I feel like it puts like a lot of pressure on the good guys, because like when women like meet a good guy, they're just like, oh, you're this, you're that, but he's not that. It's like we put so much pressure and like stereotypes on the good guys, but and then it's just like they want to become the bad person because like people already think they are. And I feel like women are out there. Someone wanted to say this hashtag because they're out there looking for someone to prove them wrong, that men are not like this. So I think that we need to stop putting pressure on some guys as well.
But it's your way of protecting yourself, or like even the reverse. There's probably guys that have been hurt by females in the past or women in the past. And they protect themselves and thinking, oh, here we go. Here's another one that's gonna cheat on me or treat me wrong.
That women stuff, though. That's why I don't like to. I know it's hard sometimes, but you can't go into a relationship with like with. I know one thing, but why do you depend on someone else to help you heal? We should like that should be within yourself, because like no one can help you completely heal. No one apart from yourself.
That's the truth.
100%.
That's true.
So like you shouldn't go with the same. I know it's hard. Like it's really hard, but try not to go into a new relationship with like the same feelings about someone else. But it goes again. Don't go for the same person you went for before, because then it's just gonna prove you right, I guess.
Deep stuff, mate. Deep stuff.
I think the bigger question is, how do you heal? How do you know that you've healed as well? Like that's a whole nother layer to it as well. How do you know that you've actually healed from a past relationship?
For example, if it was with a relationship, like you used to like always check your phone every 10 minutes and make sure he's texting you, but now you go to a new relationship and like he goes out with his friends and you're okay with it. You're not thinking about the girls, thinking about, oh my gosh, is he gonna do this, blah blah blah. That's how healing starts, when you're not, those kind of thoughts are not going through your head. And when you can feel comfortable like being separate and not being together.
But I don't know if you ever really forget the feeling or the fear of being cheated on.
I don't think it's not good.
I think
you forget though, but I think forgiveness is it's a part of healing as well. When you forgive, you don't hold. It's not holding on to it. I think when you hold on to that and you pass it on to someone else that had nothing to do with the situation, that's when it's a different situation. Toxic. Don't ever forget cheating, because it can happen. But what's the point going to a relationship but you don't trust the person? What's the point?
How important is closure in these cases? Because I speak to women and I see these tweets where women be like, sometimes I want to get closure from this past case. Say a man's cheated. Yeah, you've healed. You're in the process of healing. Is it important for you to reach back out and get that closure? Because there's this show on, I think it's on BBC Three, something to do with like you date like your ex. What's it called? What's it like? You were my ex. And so I'm like, you're getting closure. I'm like, do you need that though? Like you've healed.
We didn't insult them. I'm like, is he making it worse?
Yeah, I'm like, you've healed. You've moved on. Why have you now gone back to get? I'm like, what else?
I just wanted to know, why did you do it?
Yeah, just if we could go back again.
I did it because I wanted to do it.
You're devil.
That's the worst time. Because I trust like.
But you shouldn't get no justification for it. Like it's happened. Like,
but this one, because some people just were like, for example, it's like about the universe. People just want to understand like how it could possibly happen. So like, because like some people feel like it's their fault. So they want to understand like how it happened. Like, what did I do wrong? Blah blah blah. And of course, he's still like the person. So sometimes they don't want to like find out the reason why. They just want to talk to them. They just want to like have some kind of connection with them still. That's why people want to go back and find out why, because they still care. They just want that person to just like talk to them and like just be around them. But it never works out, because I've sent paragraphs, mate. Paragraphs, but then and you get one earth. It doesn't make a difference. You get one word. It's annoying. So like, but I think it's okay to do that, because sometimes you need to get out your system. Get it all out. Just do it. Don't care what he says. Just do it. Like, just get out your system, and then whatever happens. And then I do feel kind of not better, but you know, it is what it is.
Because you do
said
feel
your
like you've got
piece.
it off your chest. And one thing as well, like this closure argument, that people want to say is like they want to hear what they want to hear. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you don't give them the closure that they want, then that's not closure to them. No, that doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, nah, B.
It's so true. I mean, Anton, there was something that you did. This was time ago. I remember this. No. Whoa. No, like that. I meant like, no. Let me get a context. So I think you wrote down your feelings, but on a piece of paper. Then you got rid of it. And I think it was that I was going to mention. Yeah,
so I wrote. So the element of closure. A lot of people send out the text messages, whatever. I just want to air my piece. For me, I couldn't sleep. The same thought was going through my head. I was like, I need to deal with this. Pen, paper, wrote a letter to the person. But at that time, I was like, do I send it? And at that time, I was like, no, I don't need to send it. Like everything that I needed to say is written on this piece of paper. I've got closure from this one piece of paper. Because it's going along the whole thing of what's your expectation from them? What are you expecting them to say in response? And that gives a lot of power to the other person as well. Where your main reason for closure is just to let go. So writing it down is just like, oh, you know what? I'm actually cool with it. I said my piece. Unless you've done damage to the person and you want to apologise for the damage that you may have caused, then send it. But if it's just like, I'm done, I'm still hurt, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't.
That's smart. That makes sense. That makes sense, to be fair. That's sweet though.
Yeah.
There's been no niggas written no nothing about me. I know for sure they ain't written no nothing about me. They literally said delete and that was it.
Swipe and delete.
I'm telling you. Oh hell no. But yeah, no, that's cute. I think I made a mistake of wanting to have that closure conversation, and you know it always ends up in one thing, girl. No, it does for real.
Makeup sex,
like, I'm telling you, so many people say, "Oh, I'm gonna talk with my ex." Yeah, why are you shaving, B? No, for real. I've done it myself. I'm in the bathroom, like, Chelsea, what are you doing? You know what you're doing. Like, why though? Because you don't want to be caught off guard, just in case you get the response that you wanted. It's true. It's true.
I've made fake. I've done it once though. I've made a fake account.
A burner.
Just to find out what they're doing, because I don't want to be like I'm watching them in it. So I make this. Everybody has an extra account. Come on.
I've got mine's on.
You don't have an extra account?
No.
Just
I've heard about this. This burner account, just to pre in it.
Yeah.
But would they know if you pre'd from your normal account?
Yeah, because they'll see my name. They'll see Chelsea. Who's Amanda?
Is this from what? Snapchat though?
Snapchat, Twitter.
I've only done it like once, and now I was tired. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting my time actually?
No, mine was still there, to be fair.
I don't do it.
Sometimes
she's like sometimes pre in it.
No, because you know what happens is that sometimes you feel like you're over somebody, but you're not really over somebody. That's what happens to me anyway, because I've had my back and forth with one ex here for like 4 or 5 years. And you know what, I generally feel like I'm over him, then I might see him and then that's it. It's like back on full force, like nothing changed. And I'm like, how did this even happen? It's because generally I'm not actually over them, but I tell myself that I am, because everyone else wants me to be. So I just try and like move with what everyone else wants. Oh, Chelsea, get over me. It's been like 2 years. I'm like, yeah, man, fuck that guy. Really inside, I'm crying into my pillow every night. So no. But like,
shout out so and so, she's right here. Holla.
No, but you know, it's funny because sometimes it's like I might feel, you get good memories of your past relationships. And it was like, I'll get good memories, and then I'll just go to pre and then I'll see this ugly, let me look this way, I'll see this ugly guy and I'll be like, this is why I don't like you, because he was doing the same dumb stuff that I left you for in the beginning. But sometimes it's like, for real.
Sis, have you healed?
For real. It's like, and then I'll be like, you know what, thank God, because it's like, if I didn't see them, then in my mind I'll be seeing roses and all this stuff, but it's like, then you need to see the true one that they are, and you're like, I'm glad that I'm not with you. So
I think that's why space away from that person is important as well.
It
gives you time to think and reflect and kind of be like, actually, you know what? That relationship wasn't healthy. This person wasn't. We had good times, but this person was toxic for me. I had to take a step back, couple months, grow, and see that this wasn't great for me. Get that logical thinking in. Then when you see them again, you're like, actually, no, I'm good. I'm not shaving nothing. Nothing's gonna happen. Bye, boy, bye.
It's true. That's why your friends can't be friends with them, because they'll be encouraging you to be go back, anti-social. I get it. So
you have a lot of African ones that are like that as well. Africans are like, oh, but you've been with so long, you're getting older now. Like, you're getting married. Okay, you don't work it out. You're like, no, we can't work it out. Please, it's gone. It's finished. Don't try it.
And I think that I've heard that one quite a lot from women as well, in that we've been together for so long.
Yeah.
So in a toxic relationship, it isn't going great, but we've been together for 6 years. Might as well. And it's like, actually, maybe take yourself away from that situation and not think about, but I've invested, so I hear that one a lot, I've invested so much in this guy.
Men do the same thing
He's
as
got
well, the same
potential.
narrative as well.
I don't hear it that much.
Yeah.
That what?
But they do it also when they factor in, like, they got a family. Like, we're building a family, we've got a family now, I can't let
Or
that
if they've
be.
got like kids.
But they're building, not necessarily having kids, but they're building towards a family. Like, they invested so long into their relationship.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's at a point that they're potentially looking to have kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, well,
Come this
I've gone
far.
this far. So,
Yeah.
But bro, you're not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's not going to change when the
Better
ring
you
goes on.
leave.
All this, we have kids, everything will be better. Oh, we'll get married, everything will be better. It's
If
bullshit.
anything, it puts pressure on your relationship, to be fair.
Yeah.
Kids and marriage, all of that stuff. And a lot of the time, for people who stay in these long relationships, like, it's been 6 years, 100% there were signs in the first few months.
Oh, yeah.
And they ignored them.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's been 6, but it's like, you decided to do the 6 years. Do you know what I mean? No, you can't blame anybody. You decided the whole time to be like, oh no, it's fine, we'll just...
But I think this is where it's important to have the right people around you, because although I don't really believe in like making relationship decisions based on what my friends' preferences are, I think it's important in those instances where you're in love with someone, you're intoxicated by the love, cupcake phase, honeymoon phase, whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it.
Carrot cake.
Put in sex as well. Sex clouds judgment.
Jeez.
This person's treating you like crap, but the sex is popping. They're taking you to the right places. They know what to say. You're not necessarily seeing the really big red flags, but your friend can see everything. And she's like, look, babe, I don't think this is right. And I think that's why it's important to have the right people around you to say, actually, you know what? I don't think this is right. And then just kind of leave it there. Because the amount of times my boys have been in situations at the end, why didn't you tell me? Brother, we told you from day one.
Yeah,
From when she was slapping you, I told you. When she was kissing your little brother, I told you.
Whoa!
But you didn't want to hear it. Oh, but no, man, but she loves me. And it's like, you
Love
know
is
what?
blind, yeah?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It'll
Love,
take
it
over your
really is
mind.
blind. It really is blind. I think that's where
Yeah.
it gets tough, because it's not until after, in hindsight, that's when you're like, actually, this person was terrible. Why didn't I see it? But in that moment,
me.
you're like locked in those emotions, and it's like, it's tough, man. This whole love thing is relationship.
Relationship.
It's tough. Yeah, it's
My
tough.
head
Relationship.
But everyone uses that word too much. Like, I love this person, next person, I love this person, I love this person.
What is love?
It's true.
There's a whole nother layer to it. But there's also that whole argument whether a relationship or whether we should be with one person for the rest of our life.
Monogamy and polygamy.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll bring that topic up, wouldn't you? You know what? I think it's down to the person, like, and how they want their relationship to be. Sometimes I feel like, can I actually be in a monogamous relationship? I don't know. But then other times I'm like, I've never felt the love that everyone talks about.
Same.
So when I feel it, am I going to want to share that person?
It's true.
And then you have kids and you got to share that love with your kids and everything like
And
that.
then they're bringing their wife into my house. No.
No. That one I could never do, I can't lie.
Yeah.
No.
I can't.
Yeah.
And it's like, too many times it's like, if you're going to do a polygamous relationship and be with multiple people, it's like, let's share the responsibilities equally. Don't be just coming to get the dick and then bouncing. Come and clean this house with me.
Dick and dishes.
Come and cook. Come and take, when he's complaining,
Dick and
crying,
dishes.
you know what I mean? Come and cream his foot. I'm not doing
Wow.
it all.
Wow. You are loyal, boy.
You know too much about this shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Creaming feet.
No, but it's true. Come and massage his back. Come and
Yeah.
do all of it. Don't just be
Yeah.
taking the joyous sides of it.
Fun bits,
And
yeah.
and same for the man. If you're going to be doing sleeping, you better be supporting her up in her household if that's what you're claiming you want to do. You know what I mean?
This is cooking, everything.
Provide for everything. Don't just be enjoying. Nah, it's not
So,
fair.
do you believe in like the happily ever after and being together for the rest of your life?
I want to.
That's the dream, right?
I want to.
Yeah.
I did.
But I know
Disney
it's not-
gassed me, fam.
I know. Do you know what? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna let my kids watch too much like princess stuff because
Yeah.
it gassed me too much.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
like,
Set-
and
set
that's how
certain
you feel.
standards.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how. And so when I don't see it, I'm like, oh. For example, these movies when the first time you have like sex and stuff, it's like, oh, magical.
Amazing.
And then
The music
I'm
playing in the
like,
background.
Where's my singing? Where's my birds? So yeah.
Cue the music.
And after study, like, is that it?
Do you know what I mean?
Was that it? Are you done? I'm away.
To be fair, I feel like my first experience and my first boyfriend, it really was like the magic that they paint in Disney.
Yeah.
It's a shame because obviously I was just ratchet these days and I didn't understand what a relationship was and I didn't know how to hold on to that. But now I look back, like I will never down talk him because it's like he really did give me that fairy tale. That's why like nowadays when I see people I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't pay too much attention to relationship. I don't get like caught up and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I know what is good compared to like what the rest of the bad guys are like, and it is possible, but then again, we were young, so it was before I started to get down.
It definitely is possible to have that kind of, relationship for lifetime, innit? You just got to work at it. It's that partnership thing, innit?
But it's that whole question of as well, whether or not you believe in soulmates, and you have one soulmate in the world, and it goes back to that piece.
You know what? I don't believe that. I don't believe that because people, partners died and they find someone else.
Yeah, it's like, is this your soulmate as well?
People take advantage.
She reincarnated into this.
No, it's like when someone's partner dies, it's like, okay, is this your soulmate?
Take advantage of that and be like, oh, they marry someone, be like, oh, you're not really for me, and then move on to the next person because that person's their soulmate. I feel like there's multiple people out there for you, but it's for you to decide and stick with that person.
Yeah.
And build that.
That's the key point, because I think not every single relationship is going to be rosy. There's always going to be periods in your relationship where it's going to be rocky, and you have to make a decision whether that relationship is worth fighting for.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're always going to be fighting in some particular, you're going to think it's going to be grass is greener on the other side going to the next relationship. It's going to be hell there too. You just got to think which one's worthwhile.
What's worth fighting for?
That's why I don't think I've ever said we like. Obviously, not when you're younger. When you're younger, you say love all the time. But when as I get older, I've never really said I love you to the person because I still don't understand what that word means to me. Apart from my family, that's the only love I know about. So soon come happily. Hopefully, in the future. Find somebody
for all of us.
Amen. Unconditional love.
Well, that's a hard one. That's what you need though in a relationship because like you see how your mum loves you even though you steal money not from me when you steal money
still meat from the pot.
You get in trouble with the police not going to school but she still loves you and takes care of you. That's dope. That's a love, boy.
I thought you can only have that with a child, if I'm being honest.
You think?
Parent to a child, unconditional.
Serious?
Yeah.
See, okay.
I don't know if you can have that.
I don't want to throw you under a bus.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can have that. So, Ollie, you said...
When you say love, you mean conditional?
I think there's a potential to have unconditional love for your partner, but it's like, for example, with your parents, it's them deciding to still love you after that. It's for you to still decide to love that person. If they cheat, if they steal your money, they lose the house, it's for you to decide if you want to love them.
It's tough, man.
I know it's hard, but...
Tag Me In Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We can be emailed at info@tagmeinpodcast.co.uk. As for our lovely guests, where can people find you?
Well,
give them the plug.
First off, thank you guys for having us.
Thanks for coming on, man. Thank you.
Good having you guys on.
Hope you guys like us.
No, you guys are jokes, man.
My name's Lisa, who's talking right now, and this is...
I'm Chelsea, guys. Hey.
And we're called The Bleeps. That's our new channel on YouTube. You can find it, The Bleeps, like literally, on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, I think it's all the same tag.
Yeah,
so
same tag and everything, basically.
The Bleeps with an S at the end.
Yep, lowercase and everything. So yeah, that's us.
Have you got anything coming up people need to look out for?
So in general, our content is something like this, but we do like challenges, topics, beauty reviews on our YouTube channel and our Instagram, and we talk a lot of
we talk a lot of smack.
Yeah, we're gonna teach you how to finesse the finesse and all that. But thank you so much for having us, guys.
Yeah,
it's been awesome.
I appreciate it. We love it. Yeah.